So you may remember one Kyle Rittenhouse, a young man who was acquitted of shooting people in self-defense in Kenosha, Wisconsin, people who weren't really very nice, and it turns out that Twitter leftists never really got over it. They are, as far as he is concerned, he is as far as they're concerned even, I mean, they're probably just lunatics as far as he's concerned, but as far as they're concerned, he is a murderer. And he is at large, and it is permissible by the the US government, and by law, and also by the UK government as well, I imagine. But this is all permissible by law, and so anything that he does, they just say, well, there's the murderer, Kyle Rittenhouse.
I just love how murderer Kyle Rittenhouse, not very nice people, the other chaps. Moving on.
Well, I mean, just to refresh people's memory, he shot Joseph Rosenbaum, a convicted child rapist. Multiple convicted child rapists.
Who was just hanging about, having a cigarette.
Who was attacking him.
Oh.
Anthony Huber, 26, who was a domestic abuser and who was also attacking him. And he wounded Gage Grosskreutz, who was holding a gun when he shot him.
Well, he tried to blow his head off.
Yes, he was drawing it and rounding on him with the gun, and he shot him through the bicep, and that was that. And the right-wing Nazi jury were like, well, that looks like self-defense to us because he just shot a bunch of black people innocently standing around, which is basically the leftist narrative on this. There are so many people online who are convinced that Kyle Rittenhouse shot a bunch of black people for no reason.
Still?
Oh, yeah. There's the narrative because it's just the way they work. And so they're very, very salty about this. And the reason I give you this recap is because Kyle Rittenhouse has a Twitter account. When we go to the next one, you can see that Kyle Rittenhouse's Twitter account for some reason isn't verified on Twitter. Like, sorry, is this not a person of public interest? Like, was there anything that happened in the last couple of years regarding this young man that may have been, I don't know, international firestorm of a story?
Wall Street Bets is verified on Twitter.
And I'm not saying they shouldn't be. I'm just saying it's a bit weird that someone as notable as Kyle Rittenhouse isn't. But as you can see from this video, he's at a gun range, he's firing a minigun. Looks like a lot of fun. And then he says to the camera, you're not going to get our guns, Joe Biden, because, of course, Joe Biden is leading the gun grabber brigade. Oh, someone did something criminal. Right, take away those people's rights.
Yeah, I mean, specifically the AR-15 that Carl defended himself with. Sorry.
Yes. But this, as you can see, if there was ever a post that was just like excellent, very impressive, let's look at the quote tweets. This was it, right? And I hate to do a segment that's just all about Twitter, but this is just emblematic about the way these people view the world because they just spew their opinions out and you realize there is just no compromising with these people. They are not prepared to accept reality as everyone else can see it and as it is recorded on video. So the first one, a verified check mark, on to threatening to murder the president.
Technically based? Because if the president does try to take his guns...
I can't say technically based.
No, I mean, if what you are saying is that Joe Biden legitimately is trying to take away all of the human rights of the American people...
That is why they have the guns.
I mean, like, okay, Mr. Josh here, like, he stands with the idea that the president is, in fact, on a crusade to take away all their rights. I thought he wasn't. I thought that was the narrative.
Yes. I mean, I guess, yes, technically based from an American perspective.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yes. But no, he is not threatening to murder the president. That's not what he does in that video. That's not what him at a gun range is. He is a conservative activist now, and good. We need more of them. The next one, of course, is again just more people. And another verified chat mark. This punk ass who I will say killed people and should be in prison. Brackets, my opinion. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting that you were like, hang on. Okay. What happened with Johnny Depp again? Oh, that was right. He just won a massive defamation suit. Right. So this is just my opinion.
How can it be your opinion? In my opinion, he killed 2 people.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay, but in my opinion, you diddle kids. What now? Is that defamatory? Like, you know, are you going to sue me for that? I did say it was my opinion. I don't know it's true or not. It's probably not true.
It's as true as your statement.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but he's now inciting a threat at the POTUS. Perhaps the FBI should watch and be like, yeah, based. That was fine.
I mean, again, he's just obviously not. Like, you're just making this up.
Yeah, but I mean, look at firing a minigun. Looks like a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, looks expensive, though.
Yeah. And so you go on, but this is just the cavalcade of absolute genius that you see on Twitter. Look at Hammer and Sickle. Remember when he murdered 2 people with a gun that wasn't his? Lol. No. And neither do you. Didn't happen.
No.
Why are you making up a story?
Didn't murder anyone.
Yeah.
Defended himself from being killed.
Which is literally not murder. The next one is a person, a verified checkmark, thinking about his penis.
What?
Let me think about Kyle Rittenhouse's penis for a bit.
I don't, usually.
Not do I, but Adam Parkhomenko does. Publicly.
Not a moment goes by, really, where he doesn't. This is only the public tweet. I mean, the rest of his life is just thinking about it. Ooh.
Sees a video of Kyle Rittenhouse and he just has to bring up penises.
Having sex with his wife, thinking about Carl Rittenhouse's penis.
You know, I mean, I'm personally not going to speculate on those dimensions. Adam, don't know why you are, publicly. But carry on. He killed 2 people. Okay, that's at least true. You know, that's true. He didn't murder them. He did kill them, assuming you assume communists are human beings.
You do have to grant them that.
But
I don't. The statement that I don't understand why that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Don't you, James? Don't you understand? That when some people are trying to murder you in the street and you defend yourself successfully from them, you've done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It's weird.
100%.
Yeah. Don't know.
I mean, it's amazing how they're still caught up on this. Like, you would have thought they would have taken the L from the court case, at least, if nothing else, and be like, okay, yeah, we lost that one. That was dumb. We probably shouldn't try and defend paedophile murderers.
I mean, why is that? You're there going, oh, comrades, you know, solidarity.
Still.
Well, yeah, obviously. You know, but the thing is, like, I don't understand why that doesn't matter. It's like, look, this isn't a matter of opinion, right? This is just legal fact that doesn't matter because it was self-defense. Again, it's not just like how I feel about it. Like, that's the legal reality of it.
I feel Amber Heard did nothing wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we watched the video. The video is crystal clear. He was retreating from them. They chased him down and tried to murder him, and he defended himself. It was totally legitimate. Totally legitimate, James. And that's why that matters. I don't know why you don't understand that this means that Kyle Rittenhouse is morally totally in the right in what happened, and these people who were attacking him were totally in the wrong. I mean, they were wrong lots of other ways as well, but that was the most immediate wrong they were committing. Anyway, let's just carry on. And again, there's another verified checkmark. There's a mix of checkmarks and communist. Right after 19 more children were just killed. Not by Kyle Rittenhouse. Not with that gun.
No, if you can't see down the range, but there's the Uvalde school on the other side.
If you see anywhere near the school or something, is this a statement about the school? Like, can someone please help me get off this horrific acid trip I'm on? It's like, Jessica, I don't know if I can.
Oh god, that's a really dark meme. But I'm imagining her tripping acid, and like she doesn't see the end. She just thinks the school is there now. Like she's that far down the rabbit hole.
Is she literally like off her face, looking at her phone, going, "Oh my god"?
Why would the cops move in and stop this guy? It's been an hour. No, that's not what's happening.
No, that's not what's happening. He's at a gun range. He's doing something totally legal after having committed no crime, and he's just having what looks like quite wholesome fun, frankly. Like
good times.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Obviously, he's a Nazi. Didn't take long, did it? Verified checkmark. White supremacist murderer. White supremacist murderer. That was our opening gambit for that statement.
So have we figured out that those guys weren't white? Like, do you? I'm trying to figure out.
I'm assuming thinks they were black.
Surely she knows they're not black though. Because
No.
like pretty much everyone knows that at this point. So
No,
we're
they don't.
declaring them not white.
Left-wing Twitter is not aware of this fact.
I find this really difficult to believe. I imagine you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's just I find it so difficult to believe that they honestly still believe.
We covered this a little while ago, where it was just, there were a bunch of them that were just like, what are you saying? That Kyle Rittenhouse's victims, quote unquote, weren't black. And people were like, no, look, this is a picture of one.
Yeah, but that was because it was, during the trial and everyone was watching the trial. And I thought after that, the light bulb would come on and they'd stop, but...
You would think, but I think that Danielle here doesn't know that. But look at this. A white supremacist murderer, okay, that's just factually inaccurate, but let's carry on. And defamatory, but let's carry on. Using a weapon that just gunned down 19 children. No, what?
Minigun? What?
Do you think they were in Vietnam?
We need to stop. Any 18-year-old can just buy a minigun and walk into a school in the United States. This needs to be stopped. It can't keep going on.
That's...
I think at the last... In Virginia Tech, there was a minigun. In Uvalde, there was a minigun.
Yeah, it's just not true, right? You gunned down 19 children. Okay, but 10 of them were black, apparently. 3 of them teachers, and what he used to kill 2 people. It's like, what are you blithering about?
I don't think any of those statistics are right.
No, I don't think they are.
Pretty sure Uvalde was all Mexicans, but...
Yes. This is what Republicans celebrate and uphold. What? Your nonsense narrative. It's a disgusting display of white male fragility and toxicity. You are totally disconnected from reality. Hashtag woke as F.
I mean, I'm wondering if this has got to be a parody, surely, at that level.
No, verified checkmark.
Oh,
Like, this is just mad, isn't it? But it's like, okay, like you live in a world of lies. Like you actually live in a delusional world where you think that Kyle Rittenhouse is somehow connected to a school shooting because he was attacked by communist thugs in the street. It's mad.
But the gun was the same, so... I mean, that's
with the minigun. I mean,
question mark. He did the shooting.
Was she watching Rambo and then kind of had a stroke or something?
How you said the narrative was going to end up becoming that Carl Rittenhouse shot George Floyd?
It wasn't me, it was Mega.
Yeah, but apparently Carl Rittenhouse is going to have also carried out the school shooting.
Oh yeah,
in Uvalde.
Yeah.
Just every other thing that's going to take place in the next year, Carl Rittenhouse is also going to have done.
Carl Rittenhouse will become some sort of in like 100 years time or 200 years time. It'll be like some sort of avatar of firearms, where it's like the spectre, the spirit of Carl Rittenhouse has struck this tragic event. Anyway, moving on. He's a sociopath, obviously.
And then you Sam Hyde.
Again, another verified checkmark. How can somebody murder people in cold blood and still have a smile on their faces beyond me? Kid is definitely a sociopath. It's like, it's just so not true. And it's not like he's standing over the bodies of the people who attacked him, like grinning. Like going, yeah, gotcha,
Yeah, but I mean, even
teabagging them or something.
Well, not that far, but you would find it you would actually find it somewhat understandable. Yeah, to be like, you tried to kill me and I stopped you. Go to hell.
Yeah,
like there's no
he
reason
just
he
sat
should be
there
upset.
clutching his arm, still holding the gun, being like, damn it, getting dunked on. But yeah, no, but again, notice the statement: murder people in cold blood. Very interesting. We get to hear how remorseless he is. Siri, please define remorseless, says Laura. I would remorselessly shoot communists who are trying to kill me.
Yeah.
I don't see why he should feel remorse. Because he was attacked. I mean, I just can't see the, what was the imperative here? Because
I mean, it really is just as simple as he's on the other side, therefore he's bad. I mean, the repressive toleranceness of the left. It was to just say, you're on the wrong side, therefore you don't have any rights. Yeah. Always you are bad. Anything we do are good.
But remember, they're also coming from the sort of Rousseauian framework where every life has value, even if it's like a child molester. Where they're like, I'll think of the life of the child molester. It's like, why would I? And they'll be like, well, he was made a child molester by society. It's like, was he? That's very interesting.
I don't even know if they buy that. I think they probably just think, the guy he shot was on our side, therefore he's good. I don't even know, because they don't know he's not black, the guy they shot. I don't think they know he was a child molester for sure.
I don't know that each individual one. Some do, some don't. But the
level of ignorance is at such a level, I think they just think he shot into the ether and killed black people who were strolling by.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's how they frame it. Like, this is just some sort of, there are a bunch of black people there sipping coffee outside one day where nothing is going on, and Carl Rittenhouse rocks up with a minigun and just opens fire. Which is going to be the narrative that ends up getting put in the history books, probably.
It's like the Jeb meme. He's everywhere and nowhere.
Yeah, but this is the thing. It's like, even if you push them on this, I think they would still say something like, well, a human life has value. So, well, look, I'm not sure that a pedophile's life actually does have that much value. And what you're saying is there's nothing an individual can do that is morally worthy of extreme punishment, like, say, hanging. Right, so these would be the people against the death penalty. So, but I really just don't agree with that moral framework. I think that someone can do something so heinous that it is justified to, say, kill them in self-defense. I'm old-fashioned.
No,
anyway.
I think because they would even argue it's just political. Like,
Maybe.
They would defend a pedophile's right to exist and be like, it's society that's done that to him when he's on the left. And as soon as there'd be some right-wing pedo, like a member of the Taliban, they'd be like, well, no, that guy has to go now. Why? Because he politically opposes us. I don't think they think that far into these things.
It could well be, but I think the more intellectual among them would start making arguments like that. Anyway, let's move on, because he's a sadist now. According to Ash Sarkar, she's quote tweeting someone who's quote tweeted his tweet.
It's weird to see Americans be so ignorant, but
yeah, no, she knows what she's doing. She's deliberately lying. Sadism is not the point, obviously. It is not just to watch people suffer that Kyle went to a gun range. Don't know why I have to say that. Moving on. He's a monster. He literally got away with murder. America is broken. Again, another verified checkmark. Badly broken. We value guns more than God. We value guns more than children. Elderly women in church or at the grocery store. What are you talking about? Kyle Rittenhouse didn't shoot any children. And he probably, I think it's fair to say, we can infer that he saved children from Mr. Rosenbaum in the future. So, in fact, Kyle Rittenhouse is doing his part for the kids. Anyway, the best part about all this is when Ethan Klein decided to speak up. Because don't you just love Ethan Klein's takes? Dork-ass loser. Oh, got him, Ethan. You got him. Also a murderer. That's interesting. And so directly under this, someone, if you can scroll down on this one, Michael, someone posted, I thought it'd be there, it's not directly under there for me. But if you can get to the next one then, someone had said, look, no, not this. Sorry, I'd actually put a couple of other links in there. But anyway, so Ethan had replied to someone who had posted a link saying, Kyle Rittenhouse is about to start opening up defamation cases. Maybe you want to start thinking about what you're posting about this, because you do have a large public presence, and that is a defamatory statement. Like, you are probably trying to make people think less of Kyle Rittenhouse in order to ruin his life. And this has just played out very badly for Amber Heard. Maybe you want to just think about it. And
Not to mention, what was it, Nick Salmon or whatever?
Yes.
Who sued CNN.
And the Washington Post.
And is now working with Kyle?
Yes. And yeah, so he's got very experienced lawyers working with him. He's well funded, and I mean, it looks like, and he specifically, as we'll see in a minute, he specifically understands that, it's the Johnny Depp thing that has kind of opened the way on defamation. So there's a clear precedent here. You know, we can actually outline it nicely. And so,
I love the idea that the Johnny Depp trial has now affirmed that, yes, defamation wrong.
Well, yeah, but it shows something, right? But Ethan Klein replies to, that was Kyle Becker there. He's like, whoops, still time to delete, because he was posting this thing. And he's like, boy, you are dumb as hell. It's like, Ethan, I don't think we should be throwing stones and glass houses. How is he going to sue me for defamation for saying he's a murderer when he's quite literally famous for murdering 2 people? Pick a lane, moron. Are you pro-free speech or not? It's like, listen, Ethan, right? It doesn't matter if he's pro or anti-free speech. The law is what the law is. And when you get sued by Kyle Rittenhouse for calling him a murderer, literally only famous for murdering people, which is not true, then you are the one who will get in trouble, regardless of whether Kyle is a moron or not. Genius. But then he carried on.
I love can we put on the point, just when they jump out and be like, what, are you anti-free speech now about the whole thing? It's just like, Ethan Klein, well-known paedophile, and if you disagree with me, you're anti-free speech, Ethan. It's like, no, it's just not true, and that's why you say that that's not the case, and you don't actually sincerely say it. Because
and that would be an attempt to damage your character in the public eye, because like your character in English common law is actually a part of your property. Your reputation is a part of your property, and that's why we have defamation laws. So if people say untrue things about you, designed to damage your character, then that's
damage your business and your ability to make money.
Exactly. Anyway, so he carried on with this, right? He said, well, look, there is a legit need for defamation laws, but these fragile morons truly don't even know what real defamation is. They think saying mean things is defamation, when actually it's at the heart of freedom of speech they claim to love so well. It's like, oh yeah, this is big brain territory here. The noted academic and scholar, Ethan Klein, is going to instruct us on what free speech means, but real defamation is. Ethan, right, why are you pretending you know anything about this? Like, everyone knows you don't know anything about that. Like, I'm not saying I know anything about that. So I went to Cornell Law School to have a look on their website. What do they think defamation is, right? And they say that the term defamation means any action or proceeding for defamation, libel, slander, etc., alleging that forms of speech that are false have caused damage to reputation or emotional distress, have presented a person in a false light, or have resulted in criticism, dishonor, or condemnation of any person. That's actually pretty concretely what you've done by calling him a murderer.
There are a series of defense that someone, at least I know in English law, which is tighter on regards of what you can defend yourself and say it's it's not actually defamation. I'm allowed to say this. And the most used one in this regard, you would have thought would be, it's my honest opinion.
Yep.
But that can't hold up, because this can't be your honest opinion, Ethan, because it's just not true at any point.
And you're making a definitive statement of fact. I mean, you are literally saying he's only famous for murdering 2 people.
It's never been true.
No. And you tied it directly to he's a Dorcas loser and a murderer. It's like, right, so it's not like you were speaking of him in some sort of neutral, abstract way. You were directly insulting him. And you were trying to make people think ill of him. And this is all relevant, Ethan, because he is actually, as we said, gearing up to sue people, apparently inspired by Johnny Depp and his victory over noted truth teller Amber Heard.
America lover.
America lover Amber Heard. He's thinking, right, he's going to start laying out his defamation lawsuits, like Nicholas Salmon did. And you're putting yourself directly in that line of fire because you're an idiot, Ethan. And I don't know why you would do that. I don't know what you think you gain from doing this, but like, there are a bunch of people, and this is why the guy at the beginning was like, well, in my opinion, I think he's a murderer. It's like, okay, but your opinion is dumb and wrong. But you're not even saying that, Ethan. You're literally categorically saying that he murdered people and he's only famous for murdering people. That was pretty silly, and you do still have time to delete.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can become a member and find all of our premium content on lotuseaters.com, including the latest Conflations, number 75, What Makes Good Art, which was a discussion between Bo and Josh. If you're interested in finding Josh on social media, you can find him on Getter at Josh_firm. Thank you and goodbye.